Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stiletzi today, and we got another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World mod unit visual showcase for you today. So, the civ I wanted to do today would be the Calusa. Now, the Calusa are very fascinating, because not only do you have units from the Calusa themselves, they also include units in their roster from the Seminole tribe as well. So you got Seminole units and Calusa units to look at. So I think we'll start with the Calusa units first, and then we'll work our way to the Seminole ones. So right here you got your Calusa Fisherman, you got your Waterkeeper, you got your Elite Bear Clansman, and your Elite Panther Prowler. You also have the Explorer too, and you even have your Shell Shaman as well. These are all the Calusa units, and then for the Seminoles you have the Hammock Gunman, the Sharktooth Bowman, which you know pretty well from standard Legacy gameplay, the Seminole Maroon, which is actually a unit you ship in, and then the Light Horse, which is sort of like your Horse Archer. So starting with the Calusa units from the War Settlement, we'll start from left to right. First is the Waterkeeper. The Waterkeeper is your sort of coyote runner. Notice how he has an actual seashell as a shield. Nice big pink mollusk shell there. This guy also has a fluttered plume on his head. Pretty fascinating unit. That's I think I'll just leave him at this angle. Could we maybe get a bit more viewage there? Alright, let's do some upgrading. So let's see if any of his visuals change. Yep, I noticed looks like some war paint on his torso area, some changes to his plume as well, but nothing too crazy. If we add a guard upgrade in, oh wow, look at that. His shell turns green, he gets a more elaborate cloth on his body there. He definitely does get some changes. I also notice he has some sort of jewelry on his neck as well, unless that's more paint. Yeah. As for the Fisherman here, this is sort of your musketeer. On top of acting as a musketeer, it gets a charge attack where it will throw a net that will actually snare enemies. It can also fish nearby water too, so if you have like fish that's close to the shore, they can actually fish it and act as a secondary villager, which is what their main sort of role was back when they were part of the Jesuit civ and weren't their own actual civ. So let's see how he looks. His mask looks awfully like the one in the unit icon there. It's actually pretty close to it. Looks like a big evil sort of like wicked witch or demon or something. He's got like bird wings sticking out of his head there. Pretty fascinating look. If you upgrade him, his cloth changes with stripes on it. Also some more green. And if we do it again, now he's got an even more elaborate design, particularly on his leggings. His leggings are full of this green pattern now, so mostly it's more of the lower area that he receives changes visually as we upgrade him. How about for the Bear Clansman? So the Bear Clansman is sort of your halberdier type unit. I don't know if he's specifically stat after the halberdier or even the Nuka Clubman, but these are his stats. He's a really good anti-cav unit. Well, obviously he has a bear on his head. Yep, he literally carved out a bear and stuck it on his head. Plus he's got an elaborate design pattern on him too, which is pretty neat. Let's give him the guard upgrade and see what happens. So mainly he gets some changes in the dress. He also gains some stripes on his club as well, which is pretty cool. Yep. Moving on to the next one, the Elite Panther Prowler. This is your blowgunner. He is kind of your skirmisher, at least for the Calusa side. It's kind of interesting because you do technically get like 3 different skirmish units as this civ. You get the blowgunner on the Calusa side, and then you have the Hammock Gunner, which is your trainable one from here, and then you get this native one that you ship in as well. So you got all sorts of different skirms you're working with all the time. So let's see what happens with this nice little kitty cat costume when we upgrade it. So when we upgrade his little kitty cat costume, he gets a sort of a white and blue stripe down here, and he gets some green stripes and stuff on his little panther costume there, so that's pretty neat. Not much we can say about the Explorer. He's one of the more elaborately dressed units. He has this sort of red thing on his flap there. He's got a mollusk shell as well that's blue with the stripe of the player. He's got sort of a picnic blanket on his torso there, sticking out and stuff. Yep. Now we move on to the Seminole units. So you got your hammer gun here, right? This is sort of your Seminole skirmisher. And overall, he's got stats, I would say, probably similar to the Wakina Rifleman, I would say. If you need a reference. If you add his guard upgrade. Oh, yep, he gets a lot more of a brownish uniform, I would say. I think he looks a little bit more Western-like in a way. Pretty interesting. How about for the archer, the Seminole bowman here? So the bowman, when we upgrade him, we get his veteran upgrade first. Initially, he looks just like the Seminole bowman we know from the native sites. As we upgrade him, gets a bit more covering, a bit more stuff on his quiver and everything, so he looks a bit more prepared. And then if we upgrade him even more, he gets even more elaborate armor, it looks like. Something on his head there, if you look very closely. So you definitely see some substantial changes, for sure. Here is our Seminole Light Horse. This is our only sort of mounted unit for the Calusa. And he's sort of your horse archer. So if we upgrade him with the veteran upgrade, let's see what happens. So he mostly gets a reddish skirt change down below, and I think he gets some changes on other parts as well. And if we do it again, now his horse has these wonderful circles of the player's color on him. So now the horse has some sort of war paint on him too, which is very fascinating. Yep. As far as the shell shaman is concerned, he doesn't really get any upgrades, so this is how he's always going to look. He has a mask somewhat similar to the fisherman, but completely different. He also has a staff with, surprise, surprise, a shell at the end of it. And you know what he does, not only does he heal and act like a normal priest, he can also spawn fish and whales on the water too for you. So he's kind of both a healing unit and an economic unit, because he essentially ensures that you have endless fish as the Calusa, since, as you know, their whole caveat as a bonus is getting free fish from their water courts, which is their specialized dock. So, to make sure that you actually never run out of fish, you actually use these shamans to keep putting down the fish for you. So yeah, that was a pretty quick overview. Thank you for watching this with me. Be sure to do the other civs too. The reason why I wanted to do this civ was, frankly, because of the cool mask that this civ wears. I thought it could be a pretty interesting thing to look at up close. Because whenever you play Age of the World or you watch my streams, I don't think you know that these units are in such fine detail regarding the masks that they wear and the different headpieces and stuff. They're actually pretty sophisticated, so every now and then you should zoom in to see what the units actually look like instead of just, you know, playing as normal just to see how much detail these modders put into this game. So yeah, very much so. And these are your villagers, by the way, up here, if you always want to look at them as well. They're just plain old villagers. But yeah, you can tell they look a bit different too. They got more of a blue and purple design, which is actually pretty pretty as well. So yeah, sign off now. See you for the next overview that I got planned for you, alright?